Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, handsome
Good morning,
audience.
YouTube.
Good morning. Good morning. So we broadcast the taping on YouTube Live, and some people actually join us and watch it along with us on Friday morning. But then an astounding number of people download the YouTube recording and watch it later in the week in just bits and pieces. So there's so many ways to enjoy Tom and Terry. But today,
So many ways to
today, Sam and Terry.
Yeah, exactly.
We're very sad. Tom lost his mother-in-law last night, so he's in process with Jackie.
All right, we have a full house. Look at that.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. And I don't have to tell them to applaud. I love it. Woohoo. We're scoring big now. We're becoming famous.
I know.
You know, you don't see Colbert go, come on, applaud, guys. He never does that.
No.
But I have to do every weekend. I have to go, come on, you guys.
We're actually so thrilled to be on Cairo and just recently realized that they like us too because our numbers are so good on the weekend because we're on either side of us. The other shows aren't as fun as ours.
And for a while, it was either us or the Seahawks. And at the beginning, they were not doing so good. We were doing great. Of course, they're picking up, and we're not. So
Oh, you had to bring that
I
up.
had to bring that up. They're winning again. Ah.
When did you become a football fan? I'm stunned.
Yeah, actually, I do watch football, but
Oh, you do?
only the highlights.
Okay, yeah.
I can't stand standing in front of a TV for that long.
All
Okay, back to the show. Ready? All right. Welcome to the Hot Stove Society radio show. Here we are again, like we do every Friday.
And soon to be
Fantastic
Thursday.
audience. I'm very excited today. We have a live full audience. Come on, you guys, show your nerve. All right. This is very exciting.
Well, that's what happens when you invite a handsome fisherman.
Yeah, no kidding. I guess you catch lots of fish. All right, you guys are all swimming in the same pond. I see.
Oh my.
Hi, my name is Thierry Rotero. I'm the chef in the hat, co-host with Tom Douglas every Friday here. Tom is not here today, sadly enough. He had to take a little hiatus. His mother-in-law, sadly enough, Sharon, just passed away. R.I.P.
Love you, Sharon.
R.I.P. Sharon, wherever you're going. So Tom won't be with us, but I have Pam,
Yay.
a wonderful, beautiful co-host. As Tom would call her, my hippie chick.
Yeah.
I don't know why he calls you a hippie chick, but
Because in
You
the
are okay.
70s, it was pretty pronounced.
you
I'm
know,
cleaned up now.
I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you what's
Chica.
coming up on the show, and I'll tell you my taste of the week after this. You're gonna relate to that.
All right.
All right, coming up on the show, we finish our National Seafood Month with cod fisherman Adam Hausner, who's in the house, brought us some gorgeous, gorgeous fresh cod. Can't wait to try that. We have the James Ebert Foundation, who's hosting Taste of America on November 3rd and the 4th season. Dick Stevens will tell us more about it when he's on with us today.
Yep.
We also have Angela Stoll, the CEO of Fair Start. She's joining us to talk about celebrating their 30th anniversary. I can't believe it's 30 years already.
It's been a
And
wild ride.
very importantly, welcoming back students for in-person training. Last week, we talked about gratin, but we never went through it. This week, Tom is not here. We're going to go
We're
through
gonna do
gratin. Gratin all the way. And then lastly, we will play our Rob with Love Food for Thought Tasty Trivia. And who's playing today? Who's playing with us?
I'm going to con someone in the audience.
We'll
into
get some
playing,
fish.
And Annie wants to play with you.
Is it all fish oriented? No, we don't know. Okay. Well, anyway. And it's brought to you by Rob with Love. But first, let's talk about the taste of the week. Do you have a taste of the week by
I
any
do,
chance?
in
Oh,
fact.
you do? Oh, please do.
Roasted pumpkin seeds.
Oh
with
my
red-
God. This is your
I
taste
have
of the
to.
week?
I have to. It's Halloween
All right, so
weekend.
entice me because my pepitas and pumpkin seeds is okay, but I just never. It's okay.
Well, some
I
people
could live without
overcook
it.
them and dry out, and then they're nasty. But I think one of the secrets is leaving a significant amount of pulp and moisture on them. so that they actually have some of the fruit attached
Right, and some flavor.
and some flavor. And of course, rub with love Chinese 12 spice.
Okay, then now I'm with
Because
you.
now we're getting somewhere. And a lower heat. People tend to hurry through the process and just dry the crap out of
How
them.
long does it take to dry a pepit seed?
A lower temperature, like at 300, it would be about half an hour. And it takes a little bit of patience
That's all?
to keep stirring.
I thought you were going to say at least 2 hours.
Oh, God, no.
No.
I don't do anything for 2 hours.
Oh, see. Oh, like, this is the lady that just literally said, make sure you're patient. I'm like, for 2 hours. That's not that long. Okay. Well, a half hour is okay. Everybody can do that.
Yeah. What's your taste of the
My
week?
taste of the week. I went for dinner, a special dinner, a vegetarian dinner at the Corson building. Have you been to the Corson building in the last 2-3 years?
No, I miss it so much.
You know, I would recommend, this is my second time going there in the last 3 months, I think.
I feel
a
like we
special
talked
dinner.
about it.
Yeah, I
not
had
that
a special
long ago.
dinner. I want to bring the chef on. Her name is Emily, and she's married to Matt, who's the guy in the dining room. Not the Matt we used to know that used to have the Corson building, but a new,
new
Matt.
Matt.
Yeah, they cleaned it up and they bought a new Matt. Just kidding. That was terrible. That was terrible. Excuse me, Matt, for joking about your name. All right.
That was a good one, though.
So Matt and Emily run this place, and she's a fantastic chef. She has
Oh.
beautiful taste, and she loves texture and great flavor. We had this wonderful vegetarian dinner, 5 course, that was based. Sometimes they do themed dinner like that night, and it was based on a restaurant in Los Angeles that used to be called The Source. Back in the hippie time, 1970. I think 74 to 76 or
That was the
72 to
apex.
76. And they were vegetarian. Turns out to be that the restaurant was famous with all the stars in Hollywood, but turns out to be they also were operated by a cult. So that part, my wife had no idea, but my wife had been to the Source, and when she was like 17 and wanted to go back, and so she was like, "Oh, that was so cool!" And back then she thought she was hot as a teenager to go to the Source because everybody was there. But anyway, back to the taste of the week. The vegetarian dinner was absolutely excellent, well done, beautiful texture. I'm not going to run through the 5 courses, but it was really, really a wonderful dinner, and I recommend going there because they do serve a la carte dinner
In
during
addition-
the week. And this was a special dinner night, but so go to their website or call them and ask them all kind of questions. They are very friendly, super good service, and it was all outdoor, covered with heaters and everything. So it was okay.
We want to hear the highlight dish.
The highlight dish for me was probably the one with emmer, which is like a farro kind of grain, mushroom. You had 2 different kind of mushrooms in there, really nicely sauteed. The 2 together went really well.
They're
In-
magic
in-
partners.
Oh yeah, because the one is very nutty, so are the mushroom, woodsy kind of flavor and depth. And I thought the dish was absolutely fantastic and married super well. That was probably the highlight for me of the dinner. But the salads were really, I really respect a restaurant that can make a killer salad
Absolutely.
or a
It's
good
an
soup.
art.
It's like that's because many restaurants they're pretty lame on their salad, but that was they made 2 beautiful salad to start, and one was with beets, which Tom would love. The other one, but there was very little beet. There was not that many. It was one of the components, but there was beets. There was what do you call that colorful watermelon radish?
Yeah.
Watermelon radish.
Watermelon radish.
What do you
yeah.
call it?
We
Watermelon
got it.
radish, and watercress. Really nice. It was a beautiful salad. Great meal overall. So I recommend you people checking it out.
That's a wonderful tip. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, absolutely. I think they deserve to be put on the map. All right, coming up, what are we beginning talking about? National Seafood Month with a discussion on cod, fishing, and recipes. Wow, I'm excited
Gonna be
already.
Good.
Stay with us. We'll be right back on Caro 97.3 FM. I like the pumpkin shirt.
I know. I'm so glad you're.
I'm looking at it from here. I'm like, yeah.
So happy.
Happy Halloween.
I didn't know, and I've had it for years.
It's perfect.
Dragging it out.
I know, as you should.
Every year you look at it in the summertime and you go, I got to throw this away. And you go, oh, no, wait, it's coming up.
Yeah. Adam, come on up. Sean, our technician.
How's it going? Nice to meet you.
You are comfortable. Your mic is on.
Right there. Yeah. Okay. Couple inches away.
Talk comfortably, and you can kind of hear yourself in the PA.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Should make Chuck do this. Should make Chuck do this. Should make Chuck do this.
Oh, you got the logo wear on and
I
everything.
do, yes. Oh, yeah.
You got to do so. Man, the fan club.
That was really classy to bring a fan club.
Do you say Homer or Hosmer?
Hosmer.
Hosmer.
Yep. Perfect.
Wasn't sure of the
Black
S.
today, chef.
I know.
Ooh la la.
This is how I stay skinny.
Don't
If you look sideways, it's not so skinny, but look at me, I'm so skinny. It's a trick of the trade, right?
Yeah.
All in black. God, chef, you look so skinny. Like, yeah, don't look that way.
Two-dimensional chef.
That's right. So, first segment, we're going to talk about you
Yeah.
and about the operation.
All right.
And we'll see how far we go with that. And second segment, we'll talk about the rest of it and cooking.
Cooking. Huh?
And then we're going to bring, I wanted to bring mom to tell us about one quick cooking recipe. Madam is like, no way. When is she going to
She's
leave
gonna
me
tell
alone?
us
No,
stories.
she's a good cook. This is yeah.
You're just worried she's going to tell us a story about when you were little.
There's no good ones.
Oh, are you sure about that? Mom, do we have one little? No, she's very kind.
She could tell a story about Andrew, my brother, because he's not here to defend himself. He's stuck in Alaska.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here we go. We are back in the kitchen at the Hot Stove Society. Here we are at the Hotel Andra at the corner of 4th and Virginia. If you haven't had a great cooking class or a decent cooking class in the last few years, this is the place to come for it. Hot Stove Society, I guarantee you, you won't be disappointed. They're fun. They're hands-on if you want to or not, but they're definitely a beautiful environment and you will feel right at home.
Tonight, Bridget's doing an ode to Diana Kennedy, that
Oh,
wonderful
wow, Mexican.
woman that brought Mexican cooking to American chefs and home cooks. So we're very excited for that.
Wow. Is Rick Bellis coming too?
I'll try.
You should
I'll try
just
to
say
get
that.
Rick.
Rick is coming. All right. We're coming up and talking about our seafood month, which, by the way, make sure you don't forget to buy seafood and treat yourself to a nice piece of seafood this month. You owe it to yourself and to your
Every
health.
month.
And by the way, once a month is not good enough, at least for me. I do that much more than once a month. Do you eat seafood more than once a month?
Twice a week.
Yeah.
Because we do salmon on Sundays and then usually
Oh, wait a minute. You already know what you're going to eat every Sunday? You eat a piece
Uh-huh.
of salmon?
we eat salmon.
Oh, that's,
every
that's
Sunday.
a bit above my...
So I'm sharp on Monday morning.
I was wondering where she was coming fuzzy to the office. Because she already know what she's going to eat. That's
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah.
All right. We have our guest here, a fisherman of, is it multiple generation?
Yes.
Adam
Well, yeah.
Husner is with Husmer, I'm sorry, is with us, and he's going to tell us all about fishing. What I really love is it's all from Whidbey Island, and it's all from your family. So, how many generations of fishermen are you coming from?
Just one. Our father.
One generation.
Yeah.
And then explain to us from head to tail how the whole thing works in terms of because that's little entrepreneurial familial company, right? I mean, you're a small company, so how does it work from beginning to end? So you have a boat, obviously.
Yeah, our father was part of an ownership with the boat, the Baranoff, the FV Baranoff, which is a catcher processor, cod, crab, and black cod. And we're part of the FLC, Freezer Longline Coalition, who they're the ones who connected us.
So
with you
the
guys.
three things you name us because they are different time of the year.
Yeah, different time of the year. Our boat stays pretty busy. We're usually fishing 10 to 11 months a year.
Oh, that's
And it
beautiful.
also allows us to survive and deal with stock issues. If one stock's up, one stock's down, we can transit. It's a lot of work because you always got to convert the boat. And it's a lot of work for crews. They don't like to do it. But yeah, and it allows us to diversify.
Is it the same crew that goes crabbing and cutting and?
It can be.
It can be?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be if they choose to stick around.
So you have a boat and you go to the Bering Sea, right?
Yep, Bering Sea, North Pacific, and the Western Aleutians. Actually,
Okay.
Yep.
So all up north where it's freezing cold.
Yep. The boat's
Basically.
Yeah, the boat's currently out in the Western Aleutian Islands right now, off
Oh
Kiska
my.
Island.
Well,
How
I don't
big
know.
is it?
180 feet.
Okay.
It's a cool boat. It's an old Coast Guard icebreaker, buoy tender. It was built in 1942, and she
Wow.
is still, every 2 years when we do shipyard, you got to ultrasound the hull and good old fashioned American steel. For the most part, she's still the same thickness she was when she was built. Really well built boat.
I'm just trying to imagine being on the boat last night when I was listening to this. How windy was it last night? So windy and raining and pouring. I'm thinking, this is nothing compared to those guys on the boat in the middle of the Bering Sea. I mean, they must be hell when you go through this weather. It's like, oh,
You get used to it.
I mean,
You?
You get
You
used
do?
to
Very
it.
brave.
Yeah, you get used to it. It's not too bad. We got a big boat, And nowadays, with the way everything's set up, quota systems, you take your time. It's a lot safer industry. If the weather's too bad, you just jog it out, or you hide behind on the lee side of an island. So it's a much different industry than it was.
right, you have better
20 years
tools than
ago.
they used to have for sure.
Huh?
You probably have better tools weather-wise.
Yeah.
Than
Oh
they
yeah.
used to have.
Yeah. Satellite weather. Satellite Wi-Fi up.
Right.
Weather.
Is it the same thing for the fish? Better tools to find them?
Yes, those tools are available. Just they're
It's a little
available.
bit harder.
Depends if ownership wants to pay for them.
So
That would be you.
that would be you, yeah. So you go up to the Bering Sea. How long does it take to get up there? Because you leave from Seattle, right?
Yeah, when we take the boat, it's about 7 days. Good weather and your speed. If you got your wind on your tail, 7 to 10 days. Longest I've had is 10 days. Shortest was just under 7 days.
And the diversification of fishing that you have allows you to have crappy season in one and good season in another. So it's kind of like the farmers who grow multiple crop as opposed to just one crop. If something happened to one crop, well, it's just the way Mother Nature works. But at least we get the other two.
Exactly. Or whatever's in more demand or a higher price, you can leave some quota. It's quotas.
Right,
You can leave
right.
some on the table or lease some out to another boat with another company while you focus on, if black cod's in demand, you can
Right.
focus on catching all your black cod and yeah.
So you go to the ocean, takes 7 days. I mean, you're already in the ocean, but anyway, it takes 7 days to get out there. How long do you stay fishing?
A trip usually is between 3 to 5 weeks.
And then after 5 weeks, you come back to Seattle.
No, you go into Dutch Harbor, Alaska.
okay.
We go into Dutch Harbor, and then you offload your product and backload supplies and all that crew, and go back out.
Oh, so you go back up, right?
Go
right.
back out.
Oh,
We keep going. We roll into the next fishery until we kind of schedule in shipyard when the boat needs it, depending on what's on the list, what we need to do maintenance wise, and how long the seasons are, that sort of thing.
So when do you come back to Whidbey Island?
Because we work in the wheelhouse, my brother and I, who's my other partner, and Whidbey Island Seafood Company, we're usually up there 2 to 3 months at a time, and then we get 2 to 3 months off. So we rotate, on that kind of schedule.
Uh-huh.
There's another officer that rotates in that does a little fill in time, so we can, so we're both home together at certain times of the year.
How much do you have a processing plant on Whidbey Island as well?
We do now. Yes, we have a small one. We bought it was a smokehouse called Seabolt Smokehouse in Oak Harbor,
yeah.
Washington. Yeah, so that's been game changing for us because now we can really the whole message we control the whole process from start to finish. We always tell people we can put your name on a crab or we can put your name on a codfish, and we could show you that whole process and when that fish comes out of the water, when it goes into the hoppers, when it's processed, what case it was frozen in, all the way till it gets to your doorstep. And now, even furthermore, we actually cut that fish up in our own facility, package it ourselves, and then deliver it to your door.
I have a question. When I open that bag, does it smell like something or does it not smell like something?
Does
As
not
in,
smell.
okay, good. I just want to make sure. I want to
Good
make sure the
answer,
listeners understand. Especially I hear that all the time. Oh, I don't like to cook fish in my house because it smells like fish. Obviously, you're buying the wrong fish, right?
Exactly. There's a big difference, and that's a big part of us starting this company was trying to educate people, and I think the meat industry's done a good job, especially in places like Northwest and the West Coast, and getting people to choose what good product is. And the seafood industry, I think is getting better at doing that and make people aware. The ocean and seafood is still a very foreign subject to most people.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's amazing when I hear that kind of remark. It's like seafood does not smell when it's fresh.
No.
It doesn't have a strong fish smell, the fish smell that we know. That's usually because it's past. So, all right, on the next segment, we're going to keep talking about how we can buy your fish, number one, because I think that's priority as far as I'm concerned, to know how to get your fish. And then second of all, we're going to talk about how to cook it.
Mhm.
Chef Annie, you gave her some beautiful filet of cod, and Chef Annie here at the hot stove has prepared some. I believe they're butter fried in butter, as it should be,
As it should be.
pan fried, and
Nice and simple.
finished with a little dash of vinegar, which is as simple as it gets.
Nice and simple. Yep.
I
So,
like the cod.
This is
All
the way
right.
my mom used to do fish when I was a kid. So, anyway, when we come back, we're going to taste that and see how that came out. All right, you're listening to the Hot Stove Society on Caro 97.3 FM.
Good job.
Thank you so much, Adam. He's got a sexy voice for radio, doesn't he?
Now
Wow.
I mumble.
That's why you have a sexy voice for radio. Mumbling is part of it.
So I became a fisherman.
Yeah.
You don't mumble when you're yelling at crew members.
I started on TV and they said, no, you have a face for radio.
Oh.
Janet now in the other chair, Terry?
Just mom,
Janet.
Janet, mom. Come next to him and
Or the other mic.
oh, the other mic.
There you go.
Can you sit over there next to that mic
Moment of fame.
and be as close? Hey, but be,
Moment of fame.
Moment of fame.
so be as close as possible to the mic when you talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Bring
a
it,
little far
bring it
away.
to you.
I'm sure.
Bring it
There
to you,
go.
yeah.
All right.
Because the closest you are, you see the difference between this and this.
Yeah, I noticed when he was.
Yeah, I
back,
was
yeah.
showing him get
Yeah,
closer.
yeah, I kept getting
Come
further
back.
away.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it right there.
I know it's
I
not.
know.
It's not gonna bite you. It's actually your friend.
Yeah. I know.
Like, ooh.
But you
Annie,
don't
how
want,
we
you don't
doing
want
on
to
the
end
cod?
up. You don't want to end up
They're
kissing
gonna
it mid
have their
conversation
ham pie
either, though.
first, so they'll get cod later.
Okay, that's fine. Beep beep. Here we are back in the kitchen at the Hot Stove Society at the Hotel Andra. Again, if you haven't had a great cooking demo, this is a place to come and sign up for one of the classes. Go to the site. What's the website again? Oh, TomDouglas.com. I should.
Hot Stove Society.
What was
oh,
that site
one.
again?
Come
Tom Doug-
to one of Annie's dim sum classes.
Oh yeah,
We've got one Thanksgiving weekend.
That sounds good.
that sounds
Yeah.
delish.
It
That sounds
is
very good.
That sounds
Annie
really
is the
good.
chef
I
here, and
love
she's
dim sum,
very
yeah.
talented.
very.
Very. She's a little whip. I like it. All right, Adam Hosmer is with us.
Perfect. Yep.
And he's part of the Whidbey Island Seafood Company. And him and his brother of this company, and they do a cool thing, which is they take fresh seafood from the Northern Sea, bring it down to Whidbey Island, and clean it and package it for us regular citizen who
Delivered to
just
your
go
door.
and buy seafood. So please do tell us, how do we buy a nice piece of cod from you?
Online. All sales are online.
Sounds like a fishing story. Just I had to say that. Sorry.
WhidbeySeafoods.com. You can go on there, order online. All delivery or shipping to all of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho is free. We do ship.
What? That's an incredible offer.
We do ship to the rest of the U.S., but it's expensive. It's
You know,
pricey.
shipping has gone crazy, right?
Yeah, it's outrageous.
You're going to stop that free thing very quickly.
Well,
Buy now. Buy now.
we'll see. We actually just got a letter. The UPS is going to increase rates again just before Christmas. So
Yeah, of course.
but they offer a ground shipping rate that they almost always deliver next day, no more than 48 hours. We always make sure to pack our fish with enough dry ice, at least 10 pounds, that it's going to be good for 48 hours in case of a delay. We do ship to the rest of the country. It is expensive. For the first 2 years, 2.5 years, we would absorb some of those costs, but it was the customer acquisition.
Can't do it anymore.
No, you can't do it. We
No.
couldn't do it. We still do the shipping. It just costs. And we still have some customers that because they they know the quality and they appreciate it, and they'll still order, especially around certain special events, holidays, certain dinners they may
Right.
have. And we do ship larger orders, like over $300. We'll ship for free, still.
Huh.
And we're just doing that while we
Here's
figure
one
out
quick
all the
way to fill up your freezer.
Yeah.
By over $300 of cod. And can you mix cod? You obviously have other fish.
Yeah,
right?
we all the products that come from the Baranoff, which is Pacific cod, black cod, or sablefish.
Yeah.
King crab, opilio crab, barradie, all those, and then we source.
So I could get my entire
Yes.
3 month supply of seafood I need for my diet from you in one shot.
all from us, and then we also sell some salmon, halibuts. The salmon's always sourced from a FAS trawler, a family
What's FAS?
frozen at sea. Sorry,
Okay.
yeah, frozen at sea trawler, and the boat, the family we source it from it's unbelievable. The fish looks like it's still swimming when we get it H&G. It's an amazing product.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so yeah, we do have a variety of options.
That sounds beautiful. So woodbeseafood.com.
Woodbeseafoods.com. Yep. And if you go on there and you have any questions, you can
Seafoods
always.
with an S?
Yep.
Sorry, I stopped you because I want to make sure it's clear.
That's all right.
Woodbeseafoods.com. Okay.
.com. You can always email us at sales@woodbeseafoods.com, and we'll answer questions right away.
Beautiful. Now, we brought somebody who's
Very
actually
special.
very special that was here surprising you. Maybe not.
Yeah.
It's your mom, Janet. Hello, Janet.
Adam's mom.
Yay.
And I asked Janet, I'm like, well, you're in a fisherman family. Who do I ask to cook a piece of fish? And
She's actually the top employee too. She handles a large amount of the delivery, especially local on Whidbey Island. One way we're able to continue to grow is free labor.
Rude, yeah.
my God.
That does help a small business.
I thought you were going to say,
Yeah.
when you say she's in the business, she's handling, I thought you were going to say tough customer. All right,
I do
Janet,
that too.
it's going to be your turn to tell us how to make a simple way to cook a piece of fish.
Well, I think a lot of home cooks today have air fryers.
Ah.
And so with the cod, it makes a great fish and chips, and you can just do a simple breading on it and put it in your air fryer, and it's done in 16 minutes. And then you can add a topping to it, a salsa, or put it on your tacos, or just put it on a bed of rice with some vegetables. And
Cod and tacos sont delicious.
yes, it's really good.
Some fresh corn tortilla.
And another way, if people are worried about their fish drying out, I find that if you marinate it in milk or yogurt for a half hour before,
Oh, that's
and then
a
wipe it
pro
off,
tip.
it keeps it nice and moist.
Moist.
She
Yes.
did do the fish. I'm so excited. She brought it out right
Oh, yeah.
now. So they could enjoy it.
delicious.
Yeah, so we
Adam
did,
and
we
Janet
did,
are here.
Annie, Chef Annie here, did a quick, she had some cod then Adam brought. So she did a quick pan fried in butter, finished with a dash of vinegar at the end. So very simple, very French style
There you go.
of cooking a piece of fish very quickly. Again, it's another way to do fish, and that's extremely, people go, oh, butter, I'm like, stop this madness of talking about butter like it's the devil. You know what's the devil? Fast food. That's
Yeah.
the devil.
Absolutely.
You can get rid of that damn thing. Butter, your body processes it perfectly fine. Just don't eat the whole pound at once. Be reasonable. Be moderate. And cooking with butter doesn't mean using that butter necessarily. In this case, a little bit. With the vinegar, you put a little dash on top of your fillet, and it makes a wonderful piece of fish.
Jenna, what about a fish soup? I like it this time of year.
Oh,
something.
absolutely.
What would you put in it?
Well, I usually use a shrimp stock or a
Ah.
black cod stock from some of the.
Oh, everybody's
obviously-
got a black cod stock at home.
But you
I
can
don't
use-
have any of
All right.
that.
Oh, I'm
a
sorry. Can you buy
vegetable
one from?
stock, yeah.
Can you buy one from Whidbey Seafood?
Yes,
You
of
can.
course
There
you
we go.
can.
I guess you get the whole thing at once.
You could use any kind of stock, whatever's your favorite. And I like to be really simple and put some kale in it and some nice crunchy vegetables. And I usually pre-cook the fish and then add it
At the last minute.
at the
At the
last
min-
minute
yeah.
so it doesn't fall apart and
That's
it
the
doesn't
way
get
to do it.
mushy.
Yeah.
Also important tip. Yeah.
Always, it's the same thing when I do like clam chowder and everything, I usually take the clam because they're small money like clam. I'm like, steam the clam, take them out. I've keep the juice in there, but I take the clam out and then put them back towards the last 5 minutes because a clam that cooks for 45 minutes is a piece of tire.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
gonna be chewier than so. Try to keep it tender. So it's the same thing with fish.
Yes.
Try to
yeah.
not break it down into a puree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you like spicy, a coconut milk base is wonderful too.
Luscious.
Yeah.
Absolutely luscious. Adam, and how do you eat it at home when your mom's not making for you, or your beautiful wife, who we're so glad is with us
Yeah.
today?
I keep it simple, especially with cod. We use it for fish tacos, and cook it a similar way. We would cook lean cod. I eat a lot of lean cod as well. But pan frying it with butter, garlic butter is always our go-to, especially quick and easy. You just need a quick, simple choice for dinner at night. Another way, baking it at 400 degrees with the olive oil, garlic and thyme and cherry tomatoes, and then you cover the cod with that and then place it in a baking dish with some limes on top or the bottom.
I
That's
was
a very
going to
good
say
way too.
baking fish.
Yeah.
If you've never cooked fish before, or you're kind of, don't really want to go through the pan and getting the stove dirty. I mean, it always makes me amazed, and people don't want to get a stove dirty when they're cooking. But
Yeah.
there is such a thing. And, you just take a piece of cod and you put it on like you said, in the Pyrex pan, butter the pan, put the cod on top, or even olive oil if you don't want to use butter.
Yeah.
And then cover a little bit that cod with something. Could be your garlic butter that you're making, and put it in the oven. In 8 minutes, you get a beautiful piece of cod that's tender,
Moist.
and that's beautiful,
Moist.
delicious, moist. Yeah.
Good way not to overcook it.
Cod is one of those fish that is actually forgiving. It's very, when you're cooking it, especially baking, very forgiving. So
it doesn't dry out as easy as like halibut can dry out.
halibut
You can go
is-
from halibut from
Correct.
undercooked to overcooked real fast.
yeah, halibut doesn't have any fat, so it's a little bit more precocious, but cod has a little bit of fat in it. So anyway, thank you so much for being with us today.
Of course, thank you.
Truly appreciate the fact that you're trying to keep it local and seasonal and available to the customer, which
Hey.
is, I mean, it's always the same story. On the seafood market for the consumer, it's always hard. It's much harder than people think.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's the amount of mislabeling in seafood industry is just go do a Google search. You can find all sorts of articles on it. It's pretty bad, and it's been fun to actually interact with our customers, especially local on Whidbey, and how many of them really already knew about frozen at sea seafood, especially done properly, and how desperate they were for a good, consistent source of quality seafood. And so that's been real encouraging for us.
Cool. Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
We love
Would-
your slogan of dock to doorstep.
Yeah.
That's
It's the old
super
farm to
clever,
table
very-
thing, right?
It's the old farm to table thing, and I know there's already been there's seed to table out there, but dock to doorstep, or
Well, all the best of luck to you, and I can't wait to place an order with woodbeyseafoods.com.
yeah, please do. Much appreciated.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank
you,
you.
Janet.
Thank
When we
Take
come
care.
back, let's talk about the taste of America with the James Beard Foundation on Cairo 97.3 FM.
All right. How's that cod tasting? Really good. Yeah. Sandy did a nice job. Adam did a good job.
Yep.
Awesome.
We have-
Yes.
Keep saying that you can freeze it. How long is the freezer lock for,
Adam, did you hear her question? Oh, sorry.
no, so.
Okay.
Okay, and I see that it's, and it's packaged, so how long is the freezer lock for? Packaged for?
2 years.
How many?
2 years or longer. So it's 2 years
I mean,
by HACCP,
fantastic.
by food regulations. Same thing we put on our front, even wholesale HEG for 2 years.
Great job.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Just like I would make it.
You have it in quality.
What are we having?
Yeah, we better do it right
The
now.
vinegar is not as where I come from.
You've got a question.
You make your own vinegar.
Right, I make vinegar and like that.
Little dash of fresh herb, parsley, and all that stuff.
Sean, you're gonna do this next.
California customers, and like I said, are we gonna do it was 250 now. It's
Oh no, we're not doing a video now.
Right.
Well,
smaller.
I don't think they would speak.
Your call.
We're working to try to solve that. The problem is they don't really.
That's what I thought. Are we doing it now? Or you want to do it? We can do it now.
Okay.
What do we need to do?
Oh.
This, I'm sure.
I did back Pamela. Good, good. They're gonna do a quick video. No, you should sit here. Drink your champagne.
But if no, when it's cooked, what you have to do is just. Plus, you have the flavor from fat that's in the skin and the fish. That's all I have to say? Okay, good.
About 45 seconds.
You have a piece of rice somewhere? Everybody get it? I just do it like that. You're just going like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Give me 1 second.
Hey, I'm Terry Rotero, the chef in the hat.
We get the quiet on the set. Shoot a quick video.
Now this is going to be weird. That was much more fun when they were talking. Okay, ready? Hey, I'm Terry Rotero, the chef in the hat. I get very often asked a very funny question about cod. How do you cook your fish? Do you cook it with skin on or skin off? My favorite way? Skin on. You know why? Because I can always take the skin off after it's cooked. Just a little tip for you. Once it's cooked, it's so easy to take the skin off, but also you get all the flavor between the skin and the fish. There is all that beautiful fat that's from the fish. You get all that flavor stay with you, and you don't have to worry about it. So if you don't want the skin, just take your spatula and go right between the skin and the fish. It will come right off. Don't worry about using a knife to do this. It's going to be much easier than you think. Try it. Have cod.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Adam,
Wow.
can I get a quick picture with you, Pam, and Adam?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Back there, Ann.
Oh, my God. Hey, how you doing, man?
I almost brought a couple portions of skin on too. 'Cause I didn't know what you guys would prefer.
Okay, man.
That's how we prefer.
This is the way we roll around here. We roll with the punches.
All right.
You're a comedian today, man.
All right.
Oh my God, he's a big man. That's right.
So much.
Thank you.
Nobody says that about me either. Take care, man. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Our fun October is over.
I know, until next
Okay.
year.
Good. How's life with you? Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
The new normal? Well, the new normal too. Normal restaurants, just. Oh. Huh? No. With Jamie. Oh, no. Yes. I'm sorry, not this time. This was in Morocco. The trip with Jamie was in France. Yeah, 3 months ago I was in France, but 2 weeks ago I was in Morocco. But, you know what? I'm running to it. I don't know how far we're going with this. I have a. So. Huh? No, it's. That's not going away. That's going to go possibly keep going because my immune system. That's why I'm doing all this tripping. Do it while you can. Well, you know what? It's one thing or another, you know? It's either that or keep working. Yeah, no shit. That stuff is true. So anyway, yeah, it's a bit of a. It changed a little bit, but when you were 18 years old,
Over 20 years now.
it's 23 years.
Yeah.
We used to be live. We used to be live on Saturday. Now you can podcast it and listen to it on the boat. I should say that to Adam.
Dick, do you need coffee? Water? Okay. Okay. You are hooked up.
What are you doing with that Veuve Clicquot?
Oh.
All right, so anything we need to make sure we don't forget? Let me see. Well, we got. What is this segment length?
9.
Where do you see that?
I just know.
Oh, you do. I should know. I never worry about the time.
23 years.
I know. I never ever worry about the time. I wait till he goes.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about Taste of America. You're going to tell us all about it. You're the one who's going to be talking. You can sit down here. Remember, closer to the mic is sexier you look.
The chef lineup is terrific.
You know what's different? Terry's done a bunch of these, and you guys have helped us. It's all a grand tasting, it's not a dinner. It's a cocktail.
Oh, it's a walk around?
It's a grand tasting. I got 30 stations, the whole second floor of the Four Seasons. I'll go through the chef lineup. It's a different program. And there's only 5 of these in the country. They got a grand tasting, and of course, we got one.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you.
You coming?
When is it?
Wednesday night.
Bye, Ken. Thank
This
you.
coming Wednesday? No, I'm in California. I'm going to California today. You're very welcome. This part of the world, butter is not a 4-letter word. All right, thank you. You too.
Oh,
All
ready?
right.
You guys ready? All right, let's take it again. Welcome back to the Hot Stuff Society radio show. I'm Thierry Roturo, the chef in the hat, and my co-host.
Pamela Hinckley, proud producer.
Here we
Happy
go.
to be with you today.
So happy to have you here. Sorry, Tom is not joining us today. Our next guest is a return guest of many time, Dick Stevens, and he's here to tell us about his involvement and his the new show that is coming up from the James Beard Foundation, Taste America.
It's always a pleasure to be here. I feel like I'm kind of dipped in magic waters when I get to come back in the studio. We had to do it on the Zoom time last time, so this is exciting to be back in here.
We like
Yes.
being
Yeah.
live.
It is nice to be
Sure.
live.
It really is.
You want to know how live we are? Come on, guys.
Come
show it
on,
to them.
yeah! Woo!
What COVID?
It's called DVOC now, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, things are back to semi-normal in everybody's life. So
that's right.
we're trying to just remember that Friday morning is a Hot Stuff Society radio show, and we're here to do it. That's how it works. So tell us about Taste of America. So this has changed a little bit, the prototype. You have a different
It
scene
has.
going on?
Yeah, the Taste America series presented by Capital One. During the pandemic, we didn't stop, but we had, the first one we had during the pandemic was a meal pickup one that we did. And then we had a small pop-up. And then we kind of got the pop-ups a little larger. But typically, Taste America are these large 4-time events throughout the whole country, throughout the whole year. And Seattle's always one of these cities that gets a nod, which is cool. Of the 10 years that Taste America has been produced, Seattle has got it 9 times. Terry, yourself, has been one of the all-stars. And when they selected the new format this year, they said, let's go to 20 cities. Things are starting to lighten up. The foundation's been really respectful of not just the health impact of COVID, but what COVID has done to restaurants and to
The
staff.
financial impact. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I've got something here to say thank you to you on that here in a second, Terry. But what the new format has been 20 cities, but 5 of the 20 are getting a large scale event, which is the one we're going to do next Wednesday on November 2 at the Four Seasons. And it's a grand tasting. So the 5 cities that are doing that, we've taken it to the highest level. The event is twice the size, I think, of the original model, what was anticipated. The event sold out a month beforehand. There is a waiting list, but it just says that Seattle is so ready for this. And being the producer of this locally is always a big honor. So I'd really try to weave as much Seattle first, kind of Washington second, Northwest third flavor into it. And I just couldn't be more happy with the way things have turned out. It's a real star-studded lineup.
So it's next week at the Four Seasons.
That's right. Yeah.
But he's
Downtown.
just teasing us. It's
You're just
sold
teasing us
out.
because it's sold out.
It's I wish I could come here and say I've got
Yeah, I
tickets.
thought you were going to bring tickets for everybody.
Well,
I know.
There is a ticket stuck under one of the chairs. So, I mean, if somebody wants to flip
Okay,
over to
Oprah.
Charlie, the Chocolate Factory bar there, we'll find one for somebody. But it is a real pleasure to see how the thing has come together.
So give us an idea of the listing of the chefs.
Yes, please. I'm glad. So what's really cool about this year's program, and this is new also, is we have these chefs that are called Taste 20. And there is a Taste 20 chef of the 5 grand tastings. And we have sent our Taste 20 chef, which is Taylor Thornhill. He went and kicked it off in Houston at the first Taste America series that took place this summer. And the Houston Taste America chef, Taste 20 chef, which is Michelle Wallace, who's a James Beard nominee, is our out-of-town all-star for this. So they are our 2 Taste 20 chefs. And then the rest of the lineup is a real who's who list. Shota Nakajima from Taku,
Sure.
who's on TV about every 45 seconds now.
He's so popular
He
right
is,
now.
and he's such a great friend of the foundation. We're really blessed to have him. Danielle Grogan from the Four Seasons and from Goldfinch is going to be doing
Sure.
a really great dessert element. Bill Zhang and Jeremy Faust from Paju are putting
yeah.
together a great bite. Shara Amlog from Hood Famous Bake Shop is another sweet, savory dish. Matsuko Soma, who I had
Sure.
the pleasure to go back to the awards with, and she was so close. She was a finalist this year. From Kamanegi is going to be one of our star
Yeah,
chefs.
she's a terrific
It-
chef.
and she's just look at the expansion that she's had of
Yeah.
people's understanding of what she does with all the short film that's been in SIF and on Alaska Airlines. She's just really special. Cecilia Rickard from Off the Res, which is a really
Oh, I'm dying to meet them.
oh, that's going to be great. They've done so many things with their truck, and now they're really getting more and more involved with what's going on. Christy Brown,
Aren't they
from,
at the
please.
Burke Museum as well?
I believe so.
They have a
And they've
cafe
been,
there?
I think they're trying to find how they're going to expand that business because of the attention that those guys are getting. But we're stoked to have Off the Res there. Christy Brown and her son, Damon Bomar, are both going to have a complimentary station, obviously with Communion being on the cover of the New York Times Top 50 and her explosion with the restaurant over there in the Central
That
District.
brown girl can cook.
She can, right?
Of course she can.
Yeah, and it was exciting to see her get a semifinalist nomination this year with the foundation. And then Brian Doherty, who's the executive chef of the Four Seasons, is going to be putting together a great dish. And then Ethan Stoll, who is the godfather of the Four Seasons and ESR Restaurant Group, is going to be a part of it too. But we have a lot of other chefs that are going to be participating in the sponsor stations. Maybe about 15 different James Beard bites. And then I'll talk about the cocktails too, if you guys want to hear that.
Sure.
We're up
What do you
for
got?
a
You got
cocktail.
crafty bartenders coming?
Oh my God. We have 2 whiskey experiences with Westland. One of those is going to be Niles Peacock, who is globally known mixologist. He's also got the new pizza kitchen on the Edmonds Beach. We have 2 vodka experiences. We have 2 gin experiences. One a floral, one is going to be a straight, and then we're going to have a neat cocktail there with some different mixologies. We've got 4 different wine experiences. We have bubbles, caviar. It's 30 stations. We should have
Wow.
sold a gout sponsorship for a pill that you could take after this thing because they're going to
Wow.
need it. Yeah.
That's impressive.
And what is it a fundraiser or awareness raiser for
It's
James
both.
Beard
So
Foundation?
when we do these, they are to really drive home what the foundation does, and we're not really there to promote the awards or what people see on CBS when the package is out there. Terry and I have gone to the awards together a few times, and this is about what is going on with the foundation every single day. The foundation is moving the needle on a great many things: fairness in the workplace, full use of food. Really trying to work with legislation. The foundation was at the White House just 2 weeks ago, standing behind starvation and getting into these pockets of the United States that need attention. Indigenous peoples that own restaurants and culinary businesses. It's really cool, and that's where this money that's being raised. We've done a great job on the fundraiser. We've exceeded our goal, and all that money is going to go to work on a daily basis with all the foundation programming, and even more than what I've just mentioned.
The full
Cool.
use of food is so timely now, isn't it? With there being shortages, it's like if we were all smarter about how we used and distributed food, everyone could be fed.
Yeah, there is enough food out there.
There is enough food.
There really is. And I think with what has been interesting on the other side of the stove with supply chain issues and staffing, I think it's even brought a different light to the full use of food from a perspective of the person that's making it.
Right.
Because every one of these things counts in keeping the project, the restaurant, the eatery, the bar sustainable, not
Yeah.
just from a sustainability standpoint from food, but from a business perspective. What an interesting time. That's why I brought the bottle of Vouv for Terry.
For Terry.
I mean it. I mean, I remember the week after the pandemic hit, listening to Tom and Terry's show, and literally it was like listening to somebody who just went through a hurricane and what those guys did to keep the spirit alive in this community. I've been friends with these guys a long time. I mean it. And we've been on here off and on for 8 or 10 years.
Yeah, you have.
I really cherish what you guys do for this community, the audience, the follow. It's incredible. This is for you, Terry. I mean, you
Oh,
and
you're
Tom,
very kind.
you and Tom need to open that up sometime.
Tom
when you
doesn't
have a
like
chance.
champagne. I'll
yeah,
drink it.
I don't think so. That's
I use that as an excuse.
honestly, if Tom never sees that
He
bottle,
wants
that's
a
fine
big,
with me.
rich red Nebbiolo, probably, or Barolo, but I'll go with champagne.
Well, that's for you.
Thank you
What you
very
guys
kindly.
have meant to the foundation, what you guys have meant to the culinary fabric of Seattle.
Thank you
this
so
is
much.
Drop in the bucket.
It's very nice of you to acknowledge that. But, we did what everybody else did. We shook ourselves out and went, okay, what now? What do we do? I mean, this is what you do when you go through a hurricane, I would think. Everything is gone. You look around, it's unbelievably, it's hard to believe. But what do? You have two choices.
That's right.
Either you die in the foundation or you just keep going. I mean, there's not too many choices. So pick yourself up and go, all right, let's do it.
As Dick is doing with this
Yeah,
wonderful
as you're doing. I
event.
mean,
Thank
everybody
you so much.
everybody
for
had to do
coming.
that. So
It's great to be back. It's exciting to see the excitement for it. There are tickets going to be released probably. There could be up to 10 tickets that will be released in the next week with the event being on November 2. So watch jbftasteamerica.org, click Seattle. And like 2 came up
insider
this
tip.
morning and 2 were gone. So just kind of keep an eye. I wish we had more, but
so say that again. Where do you go?
go to jbftasteamerica.org.
Okay.
And click on Seattle, and you'll see all the chef lineup. You'll see what those guys are what they're up with as far as their menus, the list of sponsors. It's just unconscionably exciting to see what's going on here.
Well, big congratulations for such a high return.
Thank you.
And
Feels good
congrats
to be
to all
back.
the chefs who are participating. Big thank you to all of them for once again coming forward and showcasing our city, our region, and how lucky we are to be here. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for doing this,
It's my
Dick.
pleasure. Thank you, guys.
All right, coming up in the second hour, what do we have on the dock?
Fair Start and Angela Stoll.
Angela will be here, the CEO of Fair Start, and she's going to tell us how they're making a comeback as well, slowly but surely. So stay with us, get a bite to eat and something to drink, and come right back with us on Cairo 97.3 FM.
Nice.
Not a problem. Thanks so much. You did that. Very kind.
Can I get a picture?
Yes.
You in there? Come on.
Get Sean.
I have the proof. You gave me that.
That's right. It's not for Tom.
Hey, Angela. Good.
All right.
Tom wasn't here.
You get to drink it up.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. All right. Take care, guys.
Oh,
I think I know you and Kathy like yours.
Oh, do I get to hello? I wish that you have a mouth.
I just took a piece of pear.
All right.
All right.
Nice to see you. Miss, I saw your picture with the VP. I was like, damn.
We were early. Has staffing enough to have someone help.
She goes, oh, hi, Angela.
No, so like we had a moment of like girl talk, and she knows Brian. Yeah, how are you?
And since last time I saw you, congrats on the wedding.
Thanks. Yeah, and then we had our time.
Yeah, how was
Oh
that?
my god.
And you've been to France before?
Oh yeah, but I've never. So I'd never.
And it is what they say. It's nice.
Oh. Okay, so Brian.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you can send what you have. Yeah, just shoot them over and then text them to me and I'll bring them up online. Great. Thank you.
Captain.
Nice.
And so we were in charge of like 15 minutes.
You lived up the life of the rich and famous.
Yeah, I mean, it was not. Next to us and like popped out. And then we went across the way.
You went to Flagona.
We did.
Yeah, they don't This is where my mom lives the most on the planet. It's probably, like, if I have to rent a house for 2 weeks, somebody says, we want to go on that. I'll say, look, I want to be a virgin.
Yeah, we stayed at,
Oh, yeah.
oh, that place is so gorgeous.
So what's his name? Vikas.
I mean, we had like the, like, that was our, we were at that point.
You have to.
Yeah,
The problem is it doesn't get any better. So you get one,
yeah. Well,
you get one or two, but he gets 10 video doses.
yeah, and we actually didn't plan on being Nebraska.
Those are the.
I can go into
Next time you go, there is a place in both Provence. Back in the
What's that time to like? It's environment so long ago, quite a big post you got. That's enough for me. I couldn't imagine going up to North 16.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta write that down.
She doesn't have to write that one down. That's the third time she's seen it.
Is there anything you want, sorry, to or the anniversary or the getting get up?
Can I just say yes, yes, and yes?
Yeah, because you have that. You have to say Yeah, it's hard to tell, but the work that you.
And then when you bring on employees, completely different. It's just the kind of business.
I don't know, that's just because it's like leaving a tag on.
I think for the segment you should wear that. It's really good.
You know what? We should wear that. I wanted to go, like, whoever wanted to go in disguise.
Came out here.
Wear that. I didn't have any idea who you were.
Team gangster.
I am the gangster.
I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, because I don't know how to be a gangster. Like 2 days ago, I was in my house. I was on the second floor, and I heard some kids in the street where I am, and I saw a few kids go by, you know, where do you come out from? And I see another one in the back striking, but he's in the middle of the street. This kid is playing he's chicken face up. I'm looking at the kid. My window's open because it was sunny, and I'm looking down, and he looked up, and he goes, "Yeah, this is a 50-year-old kid."
Oh.
I was like, if I come downstairs, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, you punk. I'm like,
Wow.
you know you're messing with me? I didn't say anything. I just looked at him and said, I'm just looking at the window, man. This is what I'm looking at.
All right, people, we're ready to rumble.
Okay. Seda, you ready?
Terry has a new outfit for the second half.
Don't mess with the dude.
How do we get this? Like, this is radio. How do we get both like?
We're live on YouTube.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, someone needs to see.
And by the way, so are you.
Great. Someone needs to see Chef Terry in a different hat.
Oh, yeah. Pretty great.
You mess with the chef, and you get this. I would never make a good gangster.
I know, you're.
Not sure you.
The
make
first
a
thing
good
they'll be like,
impersonation.
"Hello, who are you messing with?" They'll be like, "What the hell is he saying?" You're not from around here. It's like- All right, here we go. Back in the kitchen at the Hot Stuff Society radio show. We are back at the Hotel Andra for the second hour of our show. Plenty of good, beautiful things to talk about. Glad you stay with us. Glad you're back with us. And here we go. Our first guest for the second show is Angela Stoll.
Nope.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to start again. Please delete this. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Sorry, old habits.
Oh boy, this is getting off to a
So, I don't have your full name here.
Dunleavy.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
didn't write that in. That's my bad.
Because you just know me as Angela.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me.
We're starting again.
Our first guest for the second hour is Angela Dunleavy. Angela, thank you so much for coming onto the show.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you for having me.
You're the CEO of this wonderful company that makes me wear a hat that says Fair Start on it.
Looks so good on you.
Does it?
It does.
What's the audience think? A or nay? Wow. Hat or cap?
Cap.
Pat.
All right, so they win. I got to put my hat back on soon. But for now, this is a Fair Start segment. So we're going to talk about Fair Start. I'm going to wear the hat just because that's what you should do is buy a hat from Fair Start and wear it proudly.
Indeed.
Fair Start, for those who don't know, please give us a background story and, your position and everything
Yeah,
you do.
absolutely. Well, I'm the CEO at Fair Start, as you said. We have been around for 30 years this year, so we're celebrating our 30th
Wow.
anniversary. We have done a lot of work with you, Chef Thierry, a lot of work with Tom Douglas restaurants, and our goal is to serve Seattle and the King County area to provide both nutritious meals, but also job training for those who are living in homelessness and poverty. So we work primarily with individuals who are coming out of incarceration, who have been living in homelessness, deep poverty, both youth and adults, to do job training in the culinary hospitality plus industry. And while we're doing that, we have the privilege of serving our community nutritious meals to those who cannot otherwise afford them. And we will have a restaurant coming back in 2023. You heard it here
wow.
King.
first. Preview.
Preview.
Nice. That's
So
good.
none of the restaurants were working for the last couple of years, right? I mean, you
Correct. Yeah. When the pandemic hit, we, as everyone else did, shuttered the cafes, catering, restaurants, and really focused our efforts in what was the bread and butter, no pun intended, of Fair Start. 30 years ago, Fair Start began as a way to get meals into shelters. And so a young chef by the name of David Lee was making meals in a small basement, I think somewhere on Capitol Hill, delivering them to DESC, which is our Downtown Emergency Services Center shelter. And along the way decided, you know what I could do while I'm delivering these meals? Why don't I work with the individuals who are living in the shelters to prepare these meals and get jobs in the restaurant industry.
Right.
And that's how Fair Start began. And we've evolved over the last 30 years. And so we can talk about that too. But that's in a nutshell. Yeah,
I
that's what we do.
remember back then it was called Common Meals
That's right.
because I remember talking with David Lee about they were about to get evicted on Virginia, between Virginia and Stewart there in the Josephinian.
Josephinian, yes.
They were about to
that's
get
where it
evicted
started.
and I did an auction dinner fundraiser and, went on for doing that for a couple of years. And
A couple of years. I think you went on to do fundraise for us for like 30 years.
a couple,
Yeah.
Couple of decades.
couple of decades.
Couple of 30.
Who's counting?
But who's counting? Yeah, exactly. No, anyway, it's a great story. I mean, Common Meal is such an unbelievable story for the whole country. I mean, I know you guys have transferred to the whole country and started programming other places, right?
We have. So in addition to Fair Start here, what we do is we work with nonprofits around the country to help start programs like ours, culinary training programs and meal service. So many of them we do recommend to go into what we call contract meals. So those are the meals that are going out to the shelters, the after school programs. We now do permanent supportive housing meals. And then many of them have done what we have done and gone into restaurants and catering as well. We all know how hard that can be at times. So, it's a little bit of magic and a little bit of science and a lot of hard work, but it's been, we have served over 18 million meals in the last 30 years. And we have graduated almost 4,000 individuals,
Yeah, I've had
starting with like 5 people in the 90s, like 5 people per year, and so it's been a really wonderful evolution.
Yeah, I've been the lucky recipient of some of those students, and some of them still in my life in terms of, we still talk. And one of them particularly is still working at SSP for Lulu at the airport. So, I mean, it's amazing. It's it's just beautiful to know there is a place for people who get challenged with life in general, addiction, whatever. And there's a place for them to, restart and reincorporate into society, which is, to me, that's how
Yeah,
all
to
the
find a
program.
path with a skill and to
Yeah.
have some support services to engage.
And
the
I feel like with
community.
the needs of today's life, we see every day in the streets and everywhere. I feel there should be like 100 Fair Start in Seattle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
need
mean,
it.
literally,
we do.
it's like we need it so badly.
Well, and I think what's really been so gratifying over the years is to, we celebrate these, 1 year stories, 2 year stories. But like you said, I mean, there are people who have been out of our program for, 10, 12, 15 years. And, bear with me a quick story. We actually, right now, we have about 20% of our staff at Fair Start are alumni from our programs, which
Wow.
is so
That's
cool.
fantastic.
And this summer, it was really emotional to say goodbye to Chef Dan, who came back to us as Chef Dan, as a chef trainer, and made his way up to a program manager. He oversaw our programs, and then, he left Seattle to go start this new wonderful life in Montana. And it's just, when he left, he said, the last decade plus has been about Fair Start, from helping me, get back on my feet to becoming an employee here again. And now, like, I'm starting this new part of my life where I get to choose whether or not I tell that part of my story.
Right.
And like, that's so powerful, because we all have things in our past that are just so,
Of course.
yeah. And so anyway, it just the longevity and just the testament that gives, I think, it's just
So
been great.
you're restarting the program.
We are. Well, we never stopped, really. I mean, I
Right.
think that the one thing that that's been hard over the last couple of years with COVID is seeing our work, right? Because you used to
Right.
see our work a lot in the restaurants. But shortly after the pandemic started, we brought students back, and we did it. We've learned a lot. So when we first brought them back virtually, we did so by sending like mise en place to like the shelter where they were, with like cutting boards and knives and vegetables. And I mean, I don't know.
That must
You-
have been a
That's
serious chaos.
complicated.
it You know what, virtual knife skills training is just not like
Well, you know what? It doesn't hurt as much when you bleed.
oh, I don't know. So what we did learn, though, is that everything that we were doing in our virtual training was so important to just everyday critical, job and life skills. So
Right.
we really started focusing on that self-empowerment, which I say is sort of the secret sauce of Fair Start.
Right.
We added in digital literacy, which everyone needs now to get a job. Financial literacy, so they know what to do with that first paycheck and second paycheck. And then those resume skills, the interviewing skills, and just really helping our clients align with their values and find who's the employer that they actually want to be working with. And so that took place for a couple years. And just this summer, we have brought a cohort, now 3 cohorts of students, back into our kitchens. So they're
Nice.
preparing meals with us and still doing the virtual training, of course, for those that it works with. But it's been so great to have students back on site.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine. It's been great to have things coming back to 2 years ago. I guess we just skipped 2 years.
And we'll
we're
hear
back,
more
almost
about
back
it.
to normal. So
I don't know, the Fair Start dinner that you made over the summer for me, I think I ate 2 years worth of calories in like bone marrow.
really?
Caught up.
I mean,
Well, that's what the guests wanted. So
that's what I wanted.
those guys were skinny as a rail. I'm always like, they're skinny as a rail and they want a fat dinner. I'm like, of course you do. I don't ask for a fat dinner ever. All right, when we come back, we're going to keep going with Fair Start and talk about the gala coming up and much more of the inside of the program to incite people to, number one, give to Fair Start and to support Fair Start in more ways than one. So when we come back here on Cairo 97.3 FM.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was trying to just make a nice wrap up.
I think a contract.
Yeah, I would love to talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, yeah, because the permanent Plymouth housing and permanent supportive housing meals, like that's a really important, and food is medicine. It's like, that's all part of it. So,
That's what-
and I can do it quickly.
Yeah.
That's really.
You don't have to go quick. 4 minutes is a long time. You can say a lot of things in 4 minutes. You can say things you regret in 4 minutes.
You can say things you regret in 40 seconds.
All right, we are back in the kitchen at the Hot Stove Society. Our guest is Angela Dunleavy. CEO of Fair Start, and a big pillar in our society today, because she's supporting she's supporting one of the greatest causes that I know of in this city, that has been a flagship for the rest of the country, and a testimony about how much we care and how much we really want to help people who are down and out on their luck or whatever, and reinstate them into society, want to be reinstated in society.
Well, I think that we have a responsibility as, this great country that we live in, to take care of the people around us and take care of our neighbors. And that's really at the center of Fair
That
Start.
I will applaud too.
Yes.
I think it is true. We cannot leave anybody behind.
Yeah. And we really, for those who are able to get back into the workforce, we want to be there to help them start at the place that feels, right for them, whether that's starting as a dishwasher at a restaurant, or they want to go right into culinary, or they want to go into, warehouse logistics. We want to be able to provide that. And we want to be able to provide meals to those who are not able to prepare meals for themselves, whether it's because they don't have the physical or mental capacity to do that.
Right.
So that's a big part of our work too.
The thing is, you've conquered that stamp of approval for restaurant to be able to hire someone. Someone says, I'm from Fair Start, I will hire them right away. They have a stamp of already a certain amount of knowledge that you've installed, that I feel very, very, very strong about, that they have the basics covered.
It shows that they're trying.
Right. Well, number one, they got the commitment. Number two, which is something that's getting to be missed more and more in our society, I think. Commitment. Remember that, young people. Commitment. That means you stick to it till the end, not just keep the minute it gets a little bit hard.
Yes, and I'm going to put a big and in there. And we are now a world that has gone through an incredible amount of trauma.
Yeah.
And our program participants have been going through this kind of trauma. Like, we're very used to this, because when you've gone through long-term homelessness, or come out of domestic violence, or been incarcerated for a long period of time, there is deep trauma that, can inhibit in your ability to do a good job at work, or to show up.
Yes.
And, if you feel like you're going to fail, many of our participants, why not just leave first and not have that rejection? So we really work on that, like seeing it through, taking the feedback, getting the coaching, and aligning with your values.
Just as important as the knife skills.
More important than
More
nice.
important,
Chef
probably.
Thierry can teach. I mean,
Yeah,
you can probably
exactly.
teach other stuff too, but definitely, knife skills can be taught. Like, these other things are really like, this is a lifetime of learning that we all have to do.
Yeah. No, I think it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. What else can you tell us about Fair Start?
Well, look, I can tell you one thing that I think has been really important, and then I want to talk about our gala. But I don't want to miss the opportunity to talk about the fact that the meals that we have provided since COVID began, 5.4 million and counting, have primarily gone to individuals who are living in permanent supportive housing. And I just can't emphasize enough how much our country needs to move toward really embracing food as medicine. And so for those individuals who are living in permanent supportive housing, many of them have experienced long-term homelessness. Many of them have long-term health issues, malnutrition, and trauma, as we talked about. And what's the best medicine for malnutrition, for trauma?
A good
healthy,
homemade soup.
Yes.
Vegetable soup. Yes.
Healthy homemade food. And so, we would love continued support in our meal production to these permanent supportive housing sites, to the shelter sites, so we can keep doing this work and doing our job training while we're doing it.
If anybody feels so inclined listening to this worldwide received show, fairstart.org.
Fairstart.org. Please go there. You can volunteer. You can donate your time and treasure, which we are very grateful for. We do have a gala coming up on Sunday, November 6th. It will be virtual and in person this year, so no excuses not to attend. And we would really love to have support.
Yeah. I mean, this is how it works. Everybody pitch in. Time, money.
$5 is, each of our meals that go out to the community cost about $5.50.
Good. So don't pitch just $5. I mean, that's kind of lonely to eat by yourself.
I mean,
you got to pitch at least $12.
Okay, I'm going to have my kids come in and do some math around that. So, I mean, yeah, we want people to give what they can and participate where they can.
Right. Thank you so much for
Thank
being with
you.
us today. This is Totally awesome.
30 years. And
30
man,
years.
30
Fair
years.
Start is in such good hands with you,
Thank
Angela.
you.
Down
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
We
Well,
really
we couldn't do
appreciate
it without people like you. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, it takes a community, right,
It does.
to
It
take
does.
care of the community.
We should be
Thank
doing.
you very,
Thank
very
you.
much. Truly appreciate it. When we come back, let's talk about what are we talking about? Oh, let's talk about what we didn't talk about last week. Gratin.
Time to get to it.
Let's do it. Here on Cairo 97.3 FM. I completely forgot what we were going to talk about next.
Any questions for Angela before she leaves?
I mean, $20. Who wants one? $200. Who wants one?
You know, I expect something to come back. I think that we're really focused right now on bringing the restaurant back in 2023. We are actively working on that. I think that guest chef night, yes, is the short answer. I would love to see that. And there's so many things that go into it that are beyond Fair Start, which includes the short staffing that many of our restaurant partners are facing.
Very real.
Where like I couldn't envision a scenario right now in which I could like ask a chef and team to come out of their restaurants and come into ours just because of the state of staffing right now. So I hope at some point, but in the meantime, we will figure out ways to have some community partners, like whether it's a community dinner or some way to engage the community, but guest chef night, hopefully. Yeah,
Good
thank you.
answer. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pam, did you get a hat? You need a hat.
I need a hat.
And Tom needs a hat.
Oh, I want to see Pam with a hat. Are you kidding me? A cap, sorry. Yeah, you look like Farmer Joe. Yeah. Yes, it's you. I recognize you.
Can I get one hat?
Yes.
Does your hat have much to reach?
Here you go. All right.
I like this. With his black.
Thank you.
Will you take it for her? Oh, thank you, Sean. Sean can do it.
Here you go.
Thank you.
He hasn't taken it yet. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. 2. Thank you,
So
I
Sean.
can post when this is being aired.
This weekend, yes.
This weekend. Saturday and Sunday, 4 to 6.
Okay.
But it's also available on podcast.
Okay. I'll leave that for Tom.
Okay.
What will he want? Black or rainbow?
I want to see Tom wear one of those too.
Black.
Black. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you so much. Good luck. All right, ready to talk gratin?
Yes.
Am I missing something? No. Okay, we're back. Hey, we're back in the kitchen at the Hot Stuff Society on Cairo 97.3 FM. This is a segment that we missed last week. We announced it as we were
I
going to
know.
talk about it, and then we skipped into something else.
Morocco.
Oh, yeah, Morocco. What a country. What a country. I'm still not back from it.
No, it's a spectacular sensory overload.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm definitely banking those in my memory forever. So if you've never been to Morocco, I'll say it again. You owe it to yourself to go for a trip over there. Call me. I'll tell you who to have for a guide. Best guy in the world. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, back to the segment today, which we didn't talk about last week. Gratin. So why were you so interested into gratin?
Because of this time of year when it's so cold and blustery, to have something warm coming out of the oven that gets a little bit crispy on the edges helps you use up things in the refrigerator, and it's just satisfying food.
Very rich and satisfying. And it's also the time of the year where you need to put that extra tire on for the winter month. Just kidding.
But if, as you talk through your favorite preparations, if you could also include maybe one that wasn't so rich.
That's what I was going to start with.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Let's start with that. So this time of year, the thing that's very common is harvesting more than we have or we need of squash and things like this. So, squash render a lot of water. It's full of water, yes, of course, but it makes a great gratin.
Yes.
If you take beautiful,
The summer skin, the soft skin, or the hard winter squashes?
no, the summer skin,
Okay.
the cooked neck, the
Zucchinis and
zucchini, the
okay.
stuff like that, and you just slice them pretty thick, like a half an inch thick, and then you put them in a pan, toss with some olive oil, salt, pepper, fresh herb, which is the time of the year where you get rid of that basil, because I guarantee you by next week you're gonna have to say goodbye to it. It's gonna be dead. So time to pick up all that basil, make a nice little pesto, or just chop it really fine, and then mix that with some grated cheese, or not. If you don't want cheese, you can avoid cheese. But I would do a nice little grated cheese like a Comté or even Parmesan would be delicious. And then sprinkle that, do your layers of zucchini and squash in your pan with your fresh herbs and your cheese in layers. And then on top, breadcrumb,
Homemade breadcrumbs.
homemade breadcrumb, of course. So how do you make breadcrumb?
Quickly
Well,
tell us.
Start with some nice, beautiful, fresh bread. Put it in the oven slowly overnight. Leave it in the overnight pilot if you have a pilot, if you have a gas pilot. That usually works really well to dry it up. And then finish it in the oven to give it a little color at the last minute. And then grind the whole thing up. And this wonderful, flaky breadcrumb will be delicious, tasting very fresh. You put that on top of your zucchini. Again, you take a lemon and you just zest the lemon with the breadcrumb. And then you take the lemon itself and you skin the lemon out and take the segment of the lemon, chop them up, and put them into your zucchini. So you have lemon,
Nice.
zucchini, and basil. Remember, we have basil sliced in there. Tarragon, if you have some left, because I have some left. Fennel, your fennel seeds. I have fennel plant in my house that have all the seeds on top. You take a few fennel seeds, pollen, and then put that into that. And you get this wonderful Mediterranean squash gratin.
I love the lemon segments in there.
Yeah, and then one thing you can do, instead of using a grating cheese, you can use a crumbling cheese, which would be like a feta or a goat cheese, soft goat cheese. If you don't like the cheese too much, too strong, you can put that in there. Tons of breadcrumb on top, like I said, put it in the oven. 45 minutes later, you get this gorgeous, beautiful golden brown gratin, and you put out of the oven. Let it sit on the counter. One of the things you can do is let it sit and pack it gently, as in put a piece of parchment paper on top, press gently on it, and you'll have all the juice coming out from the bottom. Take the juice out of there, put it in the pan, reduce that juice, meaning then you bring it to a boil, and you cook it down to a low simmer for about 20 minutes. You reduce it down by 2/3, put some fresh, beautiful finishing olive oil, and then re-drizzle that on top of your gratin as you serve it. And you'll
Next
have
level, chef.
it was
la.
ordinary to extraordinary.
I'll say.
Anyway, it's one way to use the whole thing. And yes, unfortunately, when you do zucchini and squash, there's a lot of water on the bottom.
Water, yeah, that's
So
a
take
great
that,
solution.
take that parchment paper and then take the water out of there. Most of the water, you don't have to take all of it out, but reduce that water down because it's beautiful flavor, but it's watery. So reduce it down so you'll have a more intense flavor. Finish with a little bit of olive oil. You can even add Dijon mustard if
That
you
is
want.
brilliant.
Dijon mustard in there, make like a
Of course.
thicker, and then put
Whenever
that.
we can get the mustard in.
Yeah, put that
Always.
around your zucchini gratin. It's delicious. What's your favorite gratin?
Well, I've been reading recently that tians are also considered a gratin.
So tian is the word for layered vegetable baked in France, in south of France mostly. And usually it's done with the typical red onion, zucchini, tomato, and eggplant.
Eggplant.
Yeah.
So that I've been trying to perfect my eggplant, which for my household requires getting it really, really cooked.
Yeah. So what I would do if you're making a tian with eggplant, this is what I would do. I would cook my eggplant first. I would grill them, or I would plancher, put it on the plancha and cook them to give them an extra burn flavor or roast flavor. Because eggplant just by itself, sliced into a pan,
nothing. Horrible.
Nobody's gonna really like that.
No.
So
And do you always do it vertical?
you can do it
Is,
vertical. or
is
you-
that the real definition?
I used to
of-
do it layered like this, but it depends on how you're doing it. Normally it's done layer vertical. Yes, you take a slice of each and you put them one after the other.
That's what's so pretty.
Yeah, it's very pretty, and it's very traditional in the south of France. Again, this is the time of the year where you do this because this is the last of it. Last tomato, last zucchini, last eggplant, all those vegetables are coming out of season, right? So this is a harvest time, and you do that, and you have so much. Then you do it as a stew, so you can use a lot of it.
But you don't want it, the difference being that it wouldn't be as saucy as a stew.
Correct.
So you want your ratio of vegetables should be to keep it more solid.
Correct. But by making it stand up, when you put the slices up, it already doesn't render quite as much
Ah,
because it's cooking from the top, obviously, as from the oven. So it's cooking from the top, but it's not boiling inside like it would if you were flat on the pan. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So you have that going, that going for yourself. But again, great garnish to that is definitely a basil pesto or something of that nature to drizzle all over those vegetables. That's what will give it the flavor. Toasted nuts, hazelnuts, right now.
Hazelnuts is a great
Toasted
idea.
hazelnut or pine nuts. Those are great, great
Is
nuts
there
to add.
animal protein version of gratin?
No.
Is it always
there is.
vegetable?
There is one called hachis parmentier in French, which is basically mashed potato, ground beef, mashed potato, ground beef, mashed potato, and then bread,
That
and then
sounds
bread,
American.
and then
That doesn't
breadcrumb,
sound right.
breadcrumb on top. No, you guys didn't invent that. We were there first.
No,
Remember,
no.
France is older than America. Come on, we've had the gratin forever. It's one way to use ground beef and mashed potato, and then you put that in the oven and you bake it. When I was a kid in school, we used to have a 2-hour lunch. You know, we'd come out of school and go across the street to this place that would be like a refectory, but we sat down and we had a 3-course lunch every day.
Can you
Don't-
imagine that in our schools today? No. But it sounds very
Yeah, we had an appetizer, either
civilized.
a soup or a salad, and then we had an entree, and then we had a dessert. I mean, that was typical. But anyway, often we would have hachis parmentier, and that was a favorite of mine because, you know, who doesn't like that? Mashed potato and ground beef.
I know. It sounds so delicious.
Who doesn't like that? But that would be another form of gratin. So gratin does not necessarily mean always with cheese, but it means finish with a topping that is gratiné. Gratiné means put under the
That's the
salamander.
important part.
Yeah, being under
The
the
top.
salamander, and then it's the best part.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
Everybody
like the crust?
You want the crunchy bits
Yeah,
and the gooey center.
yeah, and I think it's definitely an easy one to make at home as well. You know, if you make mashed potato for Thanksgiving and you have a bunch left over, keep it. Make a gratin the next day. Make a, ground turkey.
That's
And
what
then-
we'll do because we're going to do the show the day after Thanksgiving.
There you
That's
go.
what we'll have for lunch.
Ground turkey, mashed potato, baked in the oven.
Done.
Nice little sauce next to it, and be done. The gravy left over from the day before.
All right. Menu is complete.
All right, Annie, we just made the menu. Chef Annie is like, thank you. All right, coming up next, we're going to be having our tasty trivia, food for thought tasty trivia. And who's competing with us, Pam?
Ani, Chef Ani.
Chef Annie is coming? Oh my God, I'm going to get burned again.
And now we're going to con someone from the audience into joining us.
Ooh, they don't know who yet, but surprise is coming up.
I think Adam and Janet should do it.
Uh-oh, here you go. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back on Cairo 97.3 FM. I don't know why I think he's going to stay with us. Oh,
I
yeah.
was wondering, yeah.
Yeah, actually.
With potato or?
Yeah, my husband likes potatoes. We do the potato, and
Yeah.
potatoes, and it's usually done with salt cod. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do it with black cod.
Yeah, I mean, the bacalhau idea
yeah,
in
yeah.
Portugal is,
Yeah, we have that up.
it's a gratin. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same idea as the beef, except it's black cod. I mean,
Salt cod.
salt cod. So you do mashed potato, salt cod, mashed potato, salt cod, mashed potato, breadcrumb. And
Spicy.
and if you're from Portugal, often you will put anchovy fillet right on top. Oh yeah, yeah, chili is pretty good. All right.
Oh,
Well, I can't say. Oh, yeah. I can't say my rub. Usually it says my rub, and I'm like, I was gonna say my rub. It doesn't say it today. You took that out. Good job, chef. You took that out. Wow, that's pretty good thinking. All right, so Pam,
We lost Adam. Janet,
Janet.
he must be freshening his lipstick.
Powder his face.
Janet and Adam.
This is the little Carol's dessert for where.
Oh,
we did the
jeez.
picture of it.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see that.
that's what I was looking for.
He's gonna see my wrinkles.
So we're gonna start, Adam and Janet. We're gonna start with Terry, and then you guys are gonna go, second. And
Come over here, both of you.
Oh dear. Oh no. You're a team. Oh gosh.
So remember the most important part: get close to the mic, closer than last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can hear your sexy
My-
voice.
yeah, I'm not very good at trivia.
Oh, it's a
Neither
buffet.
are we.
Neither are we.
That's so much fun.
It's trivia.
terrible.
yeah. Is it food trivia?
We just make
Yeah.
up numbers.
You're gonna be fine. Don't
I don't
worry.
know.
Don't worry.
I'm the
Terry
only one.
always loses.
I'm the only one who suck
Yeah,
at this. Yeah.
well,
as-
she must always
as Annie
win.
says,
She
Terry
does all
always
the
lose.
cooking.
Best answer is you just give a range of numbers or like date or time.
Oh, these are number
Very vague.
times.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm kind of just a very free for all cook. I don't, I just sort of,
So Adam, when you pitch in, try to get close to the mic so we can hear you.
yeah. Yeah, he's not really any better than me.
Oh, great. That's awesome. You both have only one leg. That's two legs. That's enough to stand on. Okay, ready? We are back in the kitchen at the Hot Stove Society in the Hotel Andra, corner of 4th and Virginia. By the way, if you haven't done a staycation in Seattle,
Oh.
this is definitely the time of the year to do it. It's a little bit more quiet. It's raining. It's, weather is more like a fall weather than we're used to.
Good time to tuck in.
Good
a
time to
room
come
at
in,
Hotel
get a
Andra.
nice little massage, stay upstairs in the Hotel Andra in a nice little room,
Ooh.
go downstairs to Lola and get a beautiful breakfast or lunch or dinner, and then come here at the hot stove and get a little cooking demo.
What's better than that?
I mean, what a fabulous weekend. And then go across the street and get your pastries at the bakery.
Good eating.
Yeah. Anyway, we're doing our food tasting trivia segment, which is brought to you by Rub with Love. And our Spice Rub family has grown to 20 variety.
Amazing.
So we can help you doll up just about any dishes. Our rub, sauces, and mustards are available at, oh my God, it's across the country, just so everybody's clear on this.
Just so they're clear.
These rub are everywhere, but more specifically in grocery store like Harvest Market in Fort Bragg, California, Sonnenberg's in Spokane, Washington, and closer to Seattle at the Butcher Boy in Puyallup, or larger chains like Bartell, QFC, and Safeway. And of course, at tomdouglas.com, just in case you forget the website. All right, we have a serious contestant today.
Very serious.
Tell us all about it, Pam.
Well, we've invited Chef Annie because she's a fierce competitor, and we have cajoled Janet and Adam, our fishing family, into staying and competing against Terry. Annie says Terry always loses, so we're gonna see. Each
Yeah,
of the
that's a
contestants-
great. I like the precursor to this game. Oh yeah, he always loses. Should I write one or two?
Each contestant is going to get 5 questions, and the one that gets most right is the winner.
Yep.
That's it.
The
That's
other
how
one,
play the
we
game.
won't talk about it.
Contestant number 1, Senor Rotaro.
Go right ahead.
Stinkhorn, wood ear, and blusher are all types of what?
Mushroom.
Yes. Number 2, what is Bombay duck?
It is definitely not a duck.
Correct. Can you tell us more?
No. That's it. I'm going to stick to
What
that.
is it?
I'm ahead of the game. You see, remember what she told you?
Yeah, I know,
This is how you do it. No, I'm good. I'm good.
It is a dried salted fish found in the waters around Mumbai and typically accompanied with curry. Should we give him half a point for that?
Wait a minute. I responded, no, I knew the answer.
This is fun. Number 3. True or false? Scientists have been able to turn peanut butter into diamonds.
Oh, that is definitely true.
It is definitely
It
true.
is true.
Peanut butter, like diamonds, are rich in carbon, so peanut butter under high pressure can make diamonds.
When it sound that silly, it definitely has to be true.
Is Annie might school me on this. I didn't write these questions today. Is bao, B-A-O, a cooking technique or a spice?
A spice.
It's a cooking technique. Is that true, Annie? It
Wait,
says
B-A-B-O?
B-A-O.
Oh,
It says
B-A-O, bao.
Bao stir frying is a Chinese cooking technique that involves high heat combined with continuous tossing.
Did you say BAO?
Yeah.
Well, to me, that is a dumpling.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You get this right. I think we have a bad question.
Yes, I love that question.
That was yours. Okay, number 5. Oh, what 2 herbs could you not live without?
Well, me, the 2 words I couldn't live without. Well, I'm going to go with
I could answer
tarragon
this one.
and basil.
Okay, you got that one right. Yay!
Wait, is that a preference or is that an actual question?
I know, right? Yeah,
Yeah, preference, my preference.
right. Yeah.
So you got 4 out of
5 out of 5.
Oh,
No,
five.
I don't think so, sir.
Which one did I not get right?
Not a
The
half.
duck.
Janet Adams.
Look,
number 1. No
What was mine?
fighting. Agar,
Oh.
dulce, and kombu are all types of what?
What they used to, like make gel to
Like
congeal.
gel, gelatin?
To
What's
congeal.
its source?
Pectin.
Yeah, but no, but where is it from?
Oh, the sea.
Yeah.
What are they?
Seaweed.
Seaweeds.
Yeah.
I thought you know what they use for cooking.
No, you were right. You were
Yeah.
right.
This is another trick one.
Oh gosh.
Is baghar a cooking technique or a spice? And it's spelled Baghar.
I don't know.
50-50.
I'm gonna say a spice.
Yes.
It's a cooking technique.
Adam was right, though.
Don't
So
listen
we'll
to
take
Chef
that.
Terry.
Huh?
You could have
Don't
been right.
listen to Chef Terry.
Yeah, you could have been right.
Yeah.
True or false?
I like how Annie is like, he didn't get 5, he get 4.
Number 3, an enophile is a lover or connoisseur of wine.
What? True.
And yes.
Oh yes.
This is also fun. Which Mexican food has a name meaning little donkey?
Oh,
We eat them a lot. They're round.
huh?
Oh, empanadas.
No. Which
Oh,
one did you say?
No.
Starts with a B.
What would a big
Oh,
donkey
burrito?
be named?
Yeah.
Yay!
If you were not gonna get, I was gonna say, and then a U.
And finally, what 2 spices could you not live without?
You want to go at him?
You're the
Sumac
Ooh, exotic.
and mint.
Yay!
Wow,
Beautiful
nice.
combo. Thank
4 out
you.
of 5.
4 out of 5. Terry's in
No,
the
5.
lead.
He got one. Didn't you get one? The
Out
one
of
that I
5
got wrong.
questions.
Oh.
And now on to Annie. Jambu, bog
I've-
myrtle, and bush butter are all types of what?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Jambu,
Uh-huh.
bog myrtle, and bush butter
Remember, these were Tom's question originally.
are all types of what?
Sounds like an herb.
Close. Fruit.
Oh.
We'll give it to you. You were in
That's
the
okay.
living
I don't need the pity point, but thank you.
Oh. What is the name of the elegant tart with the lattice crust that originated in Austria? And it usually has raspberry jam.
And it's not Pulitzer.
Oh, Linzer tort.
Linzer tort.
Look at that. How did I know that? Not sure.
Which U.S. state has the most coastline?
Florida?
I thought so too.
No.
Wait, Hawaii?
No. Alaska.
Oh,
Alaska.
I guess it's bigger, huh?
It's all those islands
Yeah.
that go way out.
Please describe the unusual French cooking technique called en vessie. So it's E-N, second word, V-E-S-S-I-E. Give her a hint, Terry.
So vessie is the bladder of an animal.
Um,
So describe. Have you ever heard of anybody cooking with a bladder?
Yes, I have.
Irish people do.
Yeah. You ever heard of-
Boil?
Cooking method where meat, clothes, or other ingredient is poached inside the pig bladder to keep it succulent and juicy.
Wow.
And finally, if you could only have one countertop electric appliance in your home kitchen, what might that be?
Mini chop.
Yay! How'd Annie do on the quiz today?
Terrible.
She dished me before we started. I think that cost her the game.
But she made us a beautiful breakfast. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Thank you.
Congratulations, Terry.
Thank
You
you.
screamed to the lead in today.
I think I'm going to give my portions of rub that I was going to win to these wonderful people so they can figure out
Oh,
more ways to cook their cods, their crab, their fish, all their seafood.
Thank you so
Thank you very much.
Remember, it's whitbyseafoods.com if you want to get some beautiful fresh fish delivered to your house. All right. Now, this is the page. Oh, I don't have that page. Where did it go?
If you want.
Oh, thank you. If you want to be part of the show, you can watch the taping on YouTube at Tom Douglas and Company, or you can buy a ticket to come to the show at hotstuffsociety.com like these wonderful people did this morning. Give yourself a round of applause. You're listening to the Hot Stuff Society show on Caro 97.3 FM. This show is produced by Pamela Inkley and quite well, my dear.
Thank you.
And production by Sean McFadden. Thank you, Sean.
John.
And our editor is Sean DeTore, who's not here, but thank you, Sean, as well.
He does a beautiful job.
Also, remember, if you miss any episode of a Hot Stuff Society show on Caro 97.3, you can listen via podcast. Just subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. Happy Halloween and have a fabulous weekend.
Thanks for listening.